I'm here today to make a video on Xeno 2 and about its controls and what you actually need to do to get BP. Because I had one comment asked about that in my last video I had posted about Xeno, so I decided to make a video on it. So basically,
I'm helping.
yes, everyone knows controls of WSD, and if you double tap space, you can fly. If you hold shift while running or flying, you allows you to go faster. Then when you are going to fight somebody or fight your shadow, press L or middle mouse button to lock on to them. And it will keep you around them all locked on all the time. Then if you are going to be in a fight and you need to gain distance on your opponent, meaning in my context is that they're far from you, when you're holding shift, double tap W and it gives you a speed boost. It does take a lot of ki at first when it seems, but actually you can even have 7% of your ki and you can lock on to somebody. Well, not you lock on, but you can charge at them. If I were to be knocked back by my friend Dragon here, try using right click on me. I could, let's not do it inside. Try it again.
I'm out.
Do it again.
Erd.
I can press R to instantly recover. You can even do this when you're still close up to them, if you just spam R sometimes. When you are training or in combat, if you press X, you will vanish behind your opponent from being in front of them. Just like in, say, Final Stand or even in the old Xeno. Basically, it's a very helpful technique, but for some reason they nerfed it as the game became free release. But other than that, I'll move on to what you need to know about the GUI in general, and keys as well. Keybinds, I already taught you most of them. If you press L, the mouse button, you lock onto them. If you press K while your key is full, you create a shadow clone. Not like actual shadow clone, but it's the shadow box with. If you press K again, you can actually kill it, and it's no longer there. If you were to actually fight your shadow clone, it counts as sparring, so you can spam X to dodge its attacks. And once your key is back at full, by either you charging it by holding C, get it back to max, then you can summon it again after you wait a few seconds because it'll still be on cooldown. Then there is, what else? If you press K, not K, I mean J.
N.
No, it's J. You can turn your attacks from lethal to non-lethal. Having lethal attacks on makes your attacks do more damage, and also key attacks like blast or beams will grip somebody if they are low enough or if they are knocked. Basically, it's a real helpful way to end certain fights early, and you can instantly kill weaker people if your BP is like near the millions, or even say above 200k or so. Yes, like my full power phone over here.
Bitch.
Yeah. Anyway, if you hold F, you can block. There is no perfect blocking. Sadly, they removed that. It used to be in the old Xeno, where you could just spam F or X during the fight, or spam both, and you could perfect block, dodge, and also attack them. But PvP has its own nerfs. And if you want to fire a regular key blast, press Q. It doesn't take much key, and you can actually spam it. Then, to top it all off, when your life force, this goes down, you can press M, and it will recharge your life force after a few seconds. It doesn't instantly get it back to max, but it will slowly bring it up by either 1 or, say, 1 through 3 at most. Certain races have their own passives when it comes to life force. Sphinx, like my fellow North friend right here, will not lose any life force when they are training. I think the same thing also goes for Crosians when they are shadowboxing. Each race has different amounts of life force, and Sphinx, along with Half Saiyans, what I am, all have 100, just like human, alien, and also I think it was no androids. I think they have 100 now as well.
Yeah, they don't lose life force.
Yeah, they don't
I don't
lose
think.
life force when they train either. They share that same passive with Felnors. And when you are resting by pressing N, you just have to wait till it gets back to 100 or whatever your max is to be able to fight again. You lose life force whenever you hit somebody enough times. Say if you hit them at least 2 times, you'll lose life force. And to gain BP back from after you hit somebody, they will have to hit you. So sparring comes in handy. Now, when your life force reaches 0, you will lose a life. You have 3 lives, and after you lose all 3 lives, you will lose 40% of your BP and get a technical wipe. Your character will either go to heaven or hell, depending on if you've gripped somebody or not. If you've gripped someone, you have a good chance of going to hell. If you grip enough people, you're definitely going to hell. And you'll be stuck in hell for, I think it was 3 hours.
Yeah, 3 hours.
I remember that's from the time from old Xeno. I don't know if they kept it, but it might
It
be
might
less.
be longer.
No, it might be less.
Or worse.
Yeah. Because 3 hours, my gosh. And your BP is nerfed to hell as well. What you gain is nerfed, so keep that in mind. Certain races will have access to certain things. Now, back to the rest of the GUI. This on my screen you see is a limit break bar. It shows how much longer you need until you've broken your limit. You get your first limit break at 12k power level, which let's say is BP. At 12k BP, you will get your first limit break, and whatever your BP is after you've broken it, you will get it at your next limit break at double the amount. Say if you broke your limit at 25k, you'll then get it at 50k, and so forth. So if you broke your limit, your third one, say at around, let's say, you should get it at least by 70k, or actually more. So, if your next limit breaker would be at near 100k BP, and each time you break your limit, you do get rewarded with a small amount of BP. I think it's like 5k it gives you.
5k, 7k, 10k. That's
Yeah.
what I've gotten from the past like
Yeah.
3 limit breaks.
Yes. And when it comes to gaining BP, each race has their own BP gain. My personal BP gain, since I am a half Saiyan, is 6.5. And my friends here is, I think, Sphinx had 7.1 or something like that?
We had 7.1, but we got nerfed a bit. So now we're down at 6.6, I think.
Think so,
Although
but I do know your BP gain is higher than mine. Also,
Yeah.
your leech gain is higher than mine as well. Leech gain is
Yeah.
kind of different BP gain because you get it from sparring.
Do you want any more info from BP gain to like maybe the current like BP status? Just like check the info server. Was it called that?
Xeno's info server has a lot of
Yeah.
answers to questions.
Yeah.
So, what? Now, we've talked about the controls and mostly the GUI. This right here is your Zenny, and that is the amount of money you have on you if you know what Dragon Ball currency is. Anyway, if you press the, I don't know what the key itself is called, but if you press the key between tab and escape, that opens your menu basically. They have access to your bank, which you can store money when you have at least 10k on your person. Then you can also open the shop where you can spin in-game items like your face, key, or skin color. Then there's settings. This has nothing inside of it right now. Then if you go to skills, click it, it will show all the moves you have from buying them, and also it shows your forms. Like I have full super saiyan right here. I have power control and key control. I mean key sense. Then there's also your inventory where it stores stuff like Dragon Balls, your Space Pod, your Scouters, and your Sensu Beans. When it comes down to Sensu Beans, you can only have 5 on you at a time. Even if you try to buy more, you can't buy more until you've eaten all 5 Sensu Beans. Sensu Beans will restore 80 life force for you after consuming one, and to consume one, you just click it and press use. And it only works if you have lost life force at all. Then you have your Scouter, and each Scouter has different ranges and what it gets getting up to. The best Scouter is sold on Earth by Bulma at Capsule Corp. Then it's 7k. If you buy it, you press use and it will automatically equip to your character. To use your Scouter, you have to hold E. Once it's done scanning, it will show you everyone's power level and your own power level. Then it also shows everyone within its range. There's no one really around us since we're at Comics Lookout, except for the guy over there.
You're
and
weak.
Fuck you. Anyway, I'm suppressed like you. Anyway, if you hold M, that is key sense. Key sense has 2 things. When you hold M, it shows you the key of others around you. It shows them how weak they are compared to how strong they are.
That's a Namekian.
Huh. You can't see your own key though. Other people can see yours. You want to see your own key when you're charging. And whenever you are around somebody who powers up and they're stronger than you, Dragon, power up for me. Huh, it didn't tell me. But when someone is stronger than you and they power up to full power,
oh wait, I got this. I got this.
Mode. There you go. Your screen flashes white and it tells you that there's a huge burst of energy. And if you press G when you are in your form, it turns off the VFX effects. So if you are, say, a Saiyan, you press G and it stops to glow. Then if you press that transformation key again, it also deforms you back to your base. Now, I will pause the video for a brief moment as me and my friend will go to the different areas to tell you which one each does. And we're now at Capsule Corp. Capsule Corp is the area where you can go to buy stuff from Bulma. If you were to go upstairs, this is where they would have healing pods, but currently they're not on Earth. There is one pod, and that is technically in the Android area, which I won't be showing because I'm not really that much of an Android person. Yes, I like Android 21, but that's about it. Now, if 18 is also a good number. Now, if you go to Bulma, you press E, you get to talk to her and she gives you 3 options. You can either stop talking to her, pay her 1,000 Zenny, and she will show you your BP, which you don't really need to do. Because there's other people that have Scouters, and you can just ask them what your BP is, and if they're kind enough, they'll tell you. And most of the time, they are. Then, if you open the shop, Boma sells a wide range of different stuff that always change in shop every few hours once the timer goes down. Sensu beans are a blessing to buy. Get them while you can, and it's pretty easy. Just do one quest, and you get at least 500 to 600 zeni, and they're only 400. And I said earlier that you can only buy 5 at a time until you've eaten all 5 of them, and they restore 80 life force. Each of these modules can't be used unless you are going to become a android, and they all cost them the same amount, which is 12k zeni. Each module does something different, which I don't know what they do because I've never done anything for androids in
One's
any
a
of the Xeno
scanner
games.
for
Yeah, one
Android.
I know one's
That's
the
all I
BP
know.
scanner, then that's about it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go over to the quest board. It's not actually a bad flight. If you were starting at Capsule Corp, it's actually pretty easy to get to the quest board like it is from other areas. But while I'm flying to the quest board, I tell you that the shop is also right here. If you were flying to quest board or from Boma, the quest board to Boma. The shop also does change.
Oh.
Yeah, you should probably get a new outfit, by the way. Each outfit
Yeah.
does cost 1,500 zeni, which isn't much, but if you also want to find different outfits, your best bet is to server hop, because each server will also have different outfits as the shops do
I'm gonna get
change
this
every
one.
so often. And it immediately changes the clothes you have on your person.
For some
Like
reason, it
that.
doesn't leave,
It
but
looks
yeah,
decent on you, honestly.
yeah.
The orange
The
clashes with your skin color. But we'll decide
yeah,
about that later.
but for some reason, the outfits that like you buy before they don't
Yeah,
return.
they don't stay in your inventory. You would have to buy them
Yeah.
again. So if you see enough that you like, find the one you like. And now let's go back to your quest board. And on the quest board, I will tell you that there's also space pods that Boma does sell. There are 3 types: the normal space pod, which is 6k, and then there is the other 2 space pods, which is 15k and 35k. Each space pod has its own speed. The 35k one being the fastest, I think. That also does mean it reduces your time while you are flying through space to go to different planets. To get the coordinates to different planets, you will have to go to either the Xeno info server, and it will show you where all the coordinates are by going to the chat for it, or you can ask people inside the servers if they even bother to answer you.
Or you can buy something from Bulma, but we don't recommend that.
Oh yeah, Bulma does sell the recon search, which will give you a random coordinate for each planet in game. And you better have something to write it down because it's not a permanent thing you keep. It will flash on your screen for a brief moment, and then it will go away. And those costs, I think, are 500 zeni each or more. And if you come over here to the docks, on Earth, every planet does have their own quest board in different areas. You press E on it, or hold E, I'm pretty sure, and it gives you a quest. These quests will go be in like different areas of the map, say over there, over there, over there. And you will have to kill the inhabitants of whatever your planet you're on. Say if you're on Earth, you will have to kill humans. And if you're on Namek, it's Namekians. And so forth. Saving up money is pretty important because if you want to get stronger in this game, you will also need abilities to help, other than just having good PvP skills with your M1s and blocking. If you fly from the quest board, directly behind it, a little bit to the west, I would say, is Kami's house. In Kami's house, there is Krillin. He sells the energy beam and instructor disc, and Yamcha, who teaches you Wolfang Fist and something else, which I don't know. Each move costs 3k for the first one, but turns out to be more for the next moves, which
How
I
much
don't know how much
is
it costs.
Krillin?
Krillin's first move, Energy Wave, is the 3k. It actually
Okay,
does
let me
do
get that.
decent damage, so I would recommend getting it if you have like the money for it. And then his next move, I think it costs around 8k. That's what I think. It's either 6 or 8k. Yamcha is 3k to start off with, or 25.
I can't
Not
buy it.
25k. Do you wait? How much cash do you have on you?
3K.
Try 4k. They might have increased the price. You get it or no?
No, nothing.
Huh, weird. We come back to it later. Maybe it's glitched. But NG Wave also goes based off the color of your key. And each planet does have their own things they teach. If you go back to comics, look at where we first were. Gohan is there. I think it's Gohan or Goku. I think it's Gohan, mostly judging by the hair. Gohan is there and he will teach you key sense. If you want key sense, go to Namek because it's way cheaper. It's 3,000 on Namek, and then if you want power output control, that is 6k. And I did forget about power output control keys. The keys for power output control are Y to make it go down. I'm already at 10%. But if you double tap U, it will put you to full power immediately. Put you to 100% of your BP. And then you keep clicking Y, it puts you down to whatever amount you want to. This is also good for sparring and also good for hiding your BP from other people like, say, Majins who are scum. Each race has their own forms at different BP requirements. Sphinx have the unfortunate of needing 200k BP for their first form and only form called Wrath. It looks pretty cool when you enter it, honestly. And also press G Dragon. The ore will disappear, but you will also keep the what's it called? The VFX,
electricity.
yeah, the electricity VFX effects. And also the noise stays if you hear it from the sleep post.
I'm sorry?
No, it's right. And then also, each race has their different requirements. For half sands, if some are curious, for your first form, it's 40k BP, which you get full Super Saiyan. Then after that, at 70k BP, you get Super Saiyan. And then at 170 or 160k BP, you get Super Saiyan 2. And at 1 mil BP, you get Mystic. And at 5 million BP, you get Beast, which is Gohan's new form from the movie. Namekians have their forms, which are Super Namekian 2, and also Smooth Piccolo, also from the movie. And I will say, if you are going for traits in this game, good luck, and if you get a good race you're satisfied with, keep it. Because honestly, not all races are bad, and not all races need traits. If you're going for a trait, then you are most likely going for the form it gives. Each trait gives something different, which I can cover in a different video. And there is the recent addition of a prestige system. Before they had dropped the free release, they had added a prestige system where you need the Dragon Balls. Having all 7 Dragon Balls, you can wish to prestige, but you can only prestige once you've reached 10 million BP. And the real point of prestiging is to unlock certain forms that race would give. If you are a Saiyan without a trait, you do have access to Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Blue, and Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken times 20. And to get those, you have to prestige 3 times in a row. And if you prestige 3 times in a row, God bless you, because you are devoted to the game.
Then you're just a
Yes.
fucking
Basement dwellers, yes.
Yeah, basement dweller, beard neck,
But
beard.
honestly, most people who have reached that so far either have been in the new time chamber that has just been fixed, and
or beta testers.
That is true. The testers, the gods of destructions, or even the legendary Super Saiyans. But I think I've gone over everything already. and there isn't really much for me to cover. Everyone knows HP is the red bar. It says right here, key is the key bar, it's the blue, and ST is your stamina, which can be recovered just by standing still, even during a fight. It can also be recovered when you clash. When you clash, just spam click, and you
Tell
might
them
win.
about gripping.
Yeah, you're right. I did not cover gripping. I don't really kill people, but still. The keys to grip are B, but if you're going to carry somebody, you can press V and you can lift them up and fly around with them too. You can also use your Q to grip, but that's only if you have lethals on. And I think that's everything now. And also, I should do this. To gain BP, you can either spar with your shadow or spar with other players. There are different commands in game that you can use that are also in the Xeno Online Discord server, in the information server, I should say, that tell you that if you do, I'll give for example, /e train with the exact way I'm typing it, and say the person you're going to train with, it will send them a what's it called? An invite to train with. Let's see. Did it go through?
No.
Huh, I wonder why.
Remember, it's capital B and S.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the capital S. I just kept it in lowercase. You have to type their name the exact way or else it won't work.
Display names won't work for some reason, but
Yeah, you can't use nicknames. You have to use the actual player name itself. Huh,
yeah.
didn't work. Try sending me one. I don't think the commands are working.
Wait, what? Oh.
But anyway,
That's weird.
yeah, there's different commands. You do /e train with the user's name, and that enables you to train with people. Training with people is better in the long run because if you have a strong partner to train with that has, say, 100k BP or more, or even just slightly higher than yours by at least 10 to 20k, that is good for you when you are leeching from a low level. There's no actual low levels, I'm just saying that to exhaust, well, power level. Everyone spawns in at the age of 5, and at the age of 5, you will spawn in either with 100k BP. Sphinx, I think they spawned in with 300k. Not 300k, but 300. And each race basically has their own amount of base BP they spawn
I
with.
think we spawned with 500.
No, I think it was 300. Sphinx just have it really good. My animation's glitched again. When your character moves like this, no animation's running on your screen or to other players, and your M1s start to glitch, or you can't M1 anymore, like this.
Oh no, you can.
No, when your animation
hit.
starts, yeah, but when your animation starts doing that, you can't M1. You
You
can't.
have like a limited time.
Like this.
I think.
I can't M1 anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't M1. But when your animations break like that, make sure you're out of combat or get out of combat. Then just rejoin game. That's the only way to fix them. There's no command or hotkey in game to fix your animations. Just rejoin.
Tell them about the leaving or logging.
Combat logging does punish you somewhat. You will lose a good portion of your life force, and also you do lose a bit of Zenny. I'm not sure how much Zenny you lose, but I don't know. I think it's around
up to like
10% maybe or 20.
Maybe 10%.
Oh, I think 10% at the lowest. Because I know like most games will punish you by losing like 25%.
Oh right, you also lose a life, and maybe some BP. I'm not sure.
No, you don't lose BP. You only lose BP if you lose all 3 of your lives and get wiped. And the one thing I should actually cover before ending is gravity on different planets: Earth, Namek, and Vidam, which is
Lyra.
Junago planet. No, I'm talking about the planets that have the same gravity with barely any
Oh,
difference. Those three planets, I'm pretty sure Vidam hasn't gotten its original gravity back from the old Xeno, so its gravity still the same as Earth. I'm pretty sure right now, but I'm pretty sure Corrosion, Vegeta, Lyra are the other three planets in game that actually do have a difference through gravity. And I do know that Lyra has the highest gravity above them all. I think their gravity is at 10, and I think Planet Vegeta has the
yeah.
lowest
We're at
gravity about.
10.
Yeah, I think Planet Vegeta has like the lowest gravity
Vegeta's
among
like
the high gravity planets. I think the
Vegeta's like
I think the gravity there
4
is
now.
it's at 4 gravity.
5.
I think it's around around 4 to 6. And
Yeah.
Progen, I think that is around 6 itself as well. Acrogen is the planet where Majins, corrosions, and aliens all spawn. And planet Lyra is where Sphinx spawn. Earth spawns for both humans and half Saiyans. Then Namek is only for Namekians. And also Earth is the spawn for androids as well. Android is a subrace technically that is exclusive only to humans. And
Maybe other races.
yeah,
If like
I no, not other
if
races.
they if they like plan to. That
Nah,
is.
Bio Android would be like the only other Android thing they add, and it's gonna be its own race as well. And what I will say that if you do plan on becoming Android in the future, it is hell of expensive and has a 75% chance to fail. You,
It's about
and
like 100K something
it's about
like
100k
that.
Zenny. I think in total 75k, but it's about 100k
Yeah.
because if you fail, you do get wiped. That is the thing. And I do know, I think there still is a BP requirement for you to get to even be able to become Android. And I guess I will show where Android's like thing is, since the only healing life pod on Earth is there.
It might be 100K
I know the life pod
BP.
itself does cost 35k last time I checked, because I actually went there before trying to see if I could use it for Senkai, but Senkai's not even in the game, and also didn't have the cash for it because they raised it dramatically. Then let's see, Android's all the way over here. It's not too hard to find. This is Dr. Jiro. If you talk to him, he helps androids only. And this is the working life pod. See, how much does this cost? 35k Zenny. Yeah.
Ugh.
Honestly, it's not worth it. Just use like what's it called?
What the hell?
What's it saying? Just use sensitive beans if you're gonna heal. Limit breaking, don't worry about it too much because once you reach your third limit break, I'm on my second. It's gonna be pretty difficult for you. And well, yeah, just find a strong partner for your race, join whatever empire it's part of, then find good sparring partners, good trainers, and just try to become the best you can.
Oh
There
yeah.
is a technique you can use by only when you're sparring. I don't know if the nerf to your Z Vanish spam by pressing X got nerfed in sparring, but if you spam X and put on an auto clicker or you yourself click every 1 second and your partner just trade blows like that, just by spamming X and using your auto clicker every 1 second, you can gain at least 1,000 or more through it. I do know that when BB game was kind of broken before the update release, we only gained 1k, but before that we were gaining 2k or more. And with
I
how
gained
they
5K.
yeah, but I gained 2k off of it. I don't know how I gained 2k, but I
You
do
were one of
know
the highest BP
that
gains, right?
yeah, but
Or was it low?
there's also you have the highest BP gain basically, Actually, no,
Yeah.
Janagos have the highest. They're like 7.7.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, Janagos are 30% race, and they have a higher BP gain than both of us. I'm gonna end the video here now for real, because taking up like it's 40 minutes. So subscribe, like, share. I don't know if you actually want to share this, but yes. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial and it helped you out somewhat. And I hope you all enjoyed the game much as I do, because it generally is fun. And when you are not playing a game and you still need Zenny for Hyperbolic Time Chamber, which only Namekians, Half Saiyans, humans, and Supreme Kais can use, those four races, it
Lucky
costs
ass.
50k. Yeah, I know, but it costs 50k, and on top of it, you just need to not grip anybody, like we said, so you can have access to it. Because you don't want to waste your Shenron and say clear my karma. You can summon Shenron by using the command.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, you can use a Dragon Ball wish to clear your karma with Shenron.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not really worth it unless like you need to use Time Chamber. But if you're not using Time Chamber, it's not worth it unless you're scared of going to hell. And that's about it. Hope you just enjoyed the game and have fun. If you get a trait, good for you. Tell me what traits you get, cause honestly, I wish I had gotten a trait too. I'll see y'all
Yeah,
later
traits
in the
are
next
really
video,
fucking rare.
and my Popcat here will also be there as well.